Hi, welcome to the Coffee Chat Show here on Buzzing Pattaya, the show where we talk about things that are happening right here, right now, as well as general news, tips, information and advice. Now, welcome back, Jack, to the show. Here he is.
Good to be back.
Oh, it's great to see you again, buddy. Now, in part one, Jack spoke very deeply about insurance and about how things that perhaps we forget about that are very vital to us surviving and all the kind of bits and pieces that you really need to know about. Now, in this part, we're going to drill down into these insurance and talk about things that make sure you got these boxes ticked and all the little things that you in your experience know that we often overlook and we don't actually sort of give it any great care. And the one thing I want to start with, and this is really, really important, and please listen to what Jack's going to tell you now, because I was completely blown away when you told me this, is about hypertension.
Hypertension.
Yeah, please explain about how it all works, because I was blown away by this. Check this out.
High blood pressure. Some people are really lucky and never have to go to hospital. I'm not one of them, and most of you, sometime or other, are going to go to hospital. And when you go into a hospital in Thailand, the first thing they do, after they've checked that you've got enough money, is take your blood pressure. Now, if you're in hospital, you're generally worried about something, whether you've broken an arm or you're hurting. So your blood pressure is automatically high. And some people have white coat syndrome. If they take your blood pressure, and your blood pressure, the first reading is over 139, i.e. 140 or above, and they write it down in your hospital record, that's there for life. And when the insurance company are looking at your hospital records and see this, they say you have got hypertension.
Wow.
Hypertension means that they won't be covering you for heart attacks and strokes. So, if you go into hospital and they check your blood pressure and it's over 140, please say to the very pretty nurse, I'm a little bit stressed out just now, can you come back in 10 minutes and take it again? And try and relax, and your blood pressure may have gone down. And believe me, that is going to save you a whole lot of aggro.
Yeah, because I can imagine
later on.
I can imagine that must be like, I wouldn't have even thought about that.
Well, we've got one case going on just now where a man who's been here for 14, 15, 16 years, been to hospital a few times with motorbike accidents, broken wrists, broken this, and over all the times he's been into hospital, there are 6 instances where his blood pressure was over 140. And the insurance company have said, we're not going to cover you in future for hypertension because of these 6 instances. And he came to me with it and said, what can I do? And we checked on the 6 instances, and they were all to do with cases where he would have been in extreme pain. And anyone in extreme pain has high blood pressure. And we will get it rescinded for him. But if it wasn't rescinded and later on he has a heart attack, he has a stroke, the insurance company would be within their rights not to pay. So please check if you're having your blood pressure reading taken, make sure it's below 140.
And another tip is make sure that it's not a fit nurse, because maybe your blood pressure will be up because of that.
Yes. Yeah, especially unbuttoned a little bit.
Okay. I mean, but that is, I mean, I don't know, guys, drop a comment below if you were actually aware of that, because I wasn't. And that is something which, to be honest with you, I would not give that a second thought. If I've had an accident, I'm in the hospital and they're saying, we need to take your blood pressure, yeah, crack on, whatever, yeah, it's quite high, I wouldn't even give that a second thought.
Most people don't.
And are you within your rights to say, no, I need to calm down first?
Yes, you're completely within their rights, and they will completely understand why you're doing it.
Right, okay, wow. Well, there you go. Tip number 1, take your time, make sure the nurse isn't very fit, and also make sure you calm yourself down, because, I mean, would they possibly void an insurance because of super high blood pressure?
Probably not if it's already in motion, like
Right.
if it already exists. But super high blood pressure can be a no-no, yeah.
Wow. Well, there you go. Brilliant. What fantastic and very valuable information. I mean, in terms of the policies, I want to go into these policies in a bit more depth now, please, Jack. I mean, we all know that there's a myriad of policies out there. There's literally thousands and thousands and thousands. In your experience, what are the boxes that you need to make sure when you take out an insurance policy, make sure these boxes are ticked? What is the cover here in Thailand that you know you've got to have, guys? Because if you don't have that box ticked, it's going to bite you on the arse later on.
With the recent changes in the law regarding COVID, we are now advising people to take out at least $100,000 worth of cover, because that's what you need to get back into this country. Now, people who have left the country and are trying to get back in with less than $100,000, they're being refused at the embassies.
Okay.
So they're having to come back to us and say, can we increase it? And we increase it because every non-Thai, every Falang, I don't like that word very much, but every Falang trying to get back in has to be able to show $100,000 worth of cover, which is nearly 3.5 million bahts.
Yeah.
So you need to have enough cover to get back into the country.
And that COVID insurance, I mean, is there an average price for that? I mean, I'm putting you on the spot now, I appreciate that, but is there like you can say, look, guys, the average 100,000 bahts worth of COVID cover is going to cost you X?
Well, you don't just need COVID cover, you have to have cover that covers you for medical and outpatients as well. So it comes as a package.
So it's a package, okay.
So it depends on your age, because like cars, as we get older, we tend to break down more. That's a generalisation, but
yeah,
it's a generalisation. They have to get their prices somewhere. The other major change that's happened because of COVID is that because everybody needs insurance now, insurance companies were very reticent to sell to people over 65.
Okay.
But now we're having to sell to people as long as they pass their medical, 75 or 80 years old.
Is there I mean, you mentioned there about the age. I mean, is there a sort of a given time where, let's say between 45 and 55, it doesn't really make a difference, but when you get to this age, you're talking like a big impact. Is there a given age where in your experience you think, guys, make sure you get it before this?
Yes, certainly before. With some companies, they won't accept people after 60, or if they do, they kick them out after 70. And other companies say, we will keep the insurance going until you're 99, but if you are 65 or over, you have to pass a medical. Okay.
You just said something there, and I just picked up on it. You said some insurance companies will take you on at 60, but they will kick you out at 70.
Yes.
Can you just elaborate? I mean, when you say kick you out, you mean that's it? There's no more insurance?
That's it, yes. Now, if you have started before you're 60 with them, they will guarantee you for lifetime. But if you join them 60 or over, they will kick you out when you are 71. They will.
Wow.
And so we're aware of that. And so we don't sell the product after age 60.
Well, yeah. I mean, so you get to 70, and then they say, right, you've done 10 years. Thanks very much for all your premiums, and you know, fortunately, we didn't need to help you out. You were okay. At 71, it's like, see you later, mate. Hasta la vista. What do they do then at 70? Because the premiums must be through the roof by that age.
They have to find other insurance. It's not so much the premiums being up the roof, pardon me, but their health may have deteriorated over that 10 years. Even if they don't appreciate it, their health may have deteriorated, and so they're going to get exclusions on any new policy that they're lucky enough to take out.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's quite worrying, isn't it? Really? I mean, and again, I suppose that brings us back to why you're sat here, because you know these policies. You can advise the customer and say, listen, guys, this is this one. That's where the D-Day is, and this is this one, whereas you can just keep on going, and then it's horses for courses and choices, isn't it?
That's what we do here, yeah. We give best advice.
Yeah, I mean, and that, you know, there's two very good points that I had no idea about. You know, this hypertension, wouldn't have even given that a second thought, and, you know, 60 to 70, and at 70, it's like, see you later, fella, thanks very much, you're off.
Yes.
I mean, wow. And I mean, let's talk about the health insurance policies now. So we mentioned that you need to have this COVID cover, and that's a given. That has to be there.
It's needed to get back into the country.
What about if you're living here?
People with an OA and OX retirement visa must show currently that they have the necessary insurance as required by the Thai government.
Okay.
Which is 400,000 baht of inpatient medical and 40,000 bahts worth of outpatient medical.
Okay, so you're living here, you have to have insurance covers those levels.
If you are on an OA or OX retirement visa. People
OX?
on an O visa, which is different, currently do not have to show any insurance when they go to renew.
And
That is likely to change.
is it right? Okay. And will that be an imminent change in the near future?
It was due to change last year,
Right.
and then COVID arrived, so it's been put on a back burner.
Wow. Okay. And let's talk about the insurance policies. I mean, I've seen it myself. You know, there's insurance policies that just cover you for so much. Aside from COVID, what are the essential boxes in an insurance policy that need to be ticked? I mean, dental treatment, you could probably swerve that one.
No.
You know, these kind of little things. What's the key elements?
The key elements is that you're covered for inpatients, which covers all the cancers, getting bit by the wrong mosquito and going down with dengue fever. You just need to make sure that you're covered, first and primarily, enough cover as an inpatient. Now, over my 30 years here, I've heard of a couple of hospital stays that reach 10 million bahts, but now you're talking over 30 years, maybe 2. From this office, we've had maybe 5 claims that have exceeded 5 million baht. But generally, you need 3 or 3.5 million baht cover is actually reasonable cover, because we have hospital inflation here. The cost of medical inflation here is running about 8%. So that means that each time you go on in each year, prices are going up about 8%. When I arrived here, 300,000 baht was a big bill. Now, 2 million baht is almost normal. We get that on a regular basis.
Cool, yeah. I mean, 300,000 baht nowadays, that's probably what?
Ingrown toenail.
Yeah, I was going to say your fingernails just bent backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a valid point, isn't it? The fact is that medical care here is very expensive.
Getting more expensive. And let's face it, if you don't have insurance and you're in agony and you need something doing in a hurry, the hospital can charge what the hell they like, and you're going to wear it.
Wow.
Whereas the insurance companies have already come to an agreement with each and every hospital that they deal with as to what can be charged.
Right, okay. Worst case scenario, and I do want to ask this question because I think it's important that we should understand the outcome. Worst case scenarios with these insurance policies is, if you die, do they cover your funeral costs?
If you die, everybody dies.
Well, what I mean is, you have the accident and you pass away and you've got an insurance policy. Will that cover your funeral costs?
No.
It doesn't. So
No.
that's an additional insurance you will need to have in place for that eventuality.
Correct.
Okay. And if you don't have insurance for that, what happens then? Do they like put you in a 7-Eleven carrier bag and drop you off out to sea? I mean, what happens?
I don't think it's overly expensive, especially not up country, to do the cremation ceremony, but that's something we don't get involved in here.
Right, okay. So you're primarily health insurance and making sure that all those boxes are ticked that you need ticking.
We do life insurance here as well.
Okay. And as well as life insurance, you do other policies, don't you? Like house and other. I mean, just to explain a bit to those guys that are watching as to the kind of insurance policies that you have available, if that's something that they may require.
We're a broker. I'm sure you're used to what brokers back in your home country do. That's everything: car, liability, motorbikes, houses, hotels, commercial businesses, small, medium enterprises, small shops, shop houses. If you want it insured, come to us.
There you go. So whatever your needs are, come and speak to Jack and his fantastic team here, and I'm sure that you'll be able to help them out and point them in the right direction.
I would hope so.
All right. Well, before we finish off, I just want to ask you a few more questions, and let's step away from insurance for now. I mean, in terms of the developments here with all that's going on with COVID, I mean, where do you see the light at the end of the tunnel? I mean, you've been here a long time. You've been through some incredible changes. You've seen some incredible things happen here in Thailand over the years. Where, in your opinion, do you see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Are you asking the question, when is tourism going to return to normal and Pattaya going to return to normal?
Will it?
Not this year.
Not this year.
I don't believe so, because nobody has quite got the hang of COVID yet and what it's going to do and how it's going to mutate and how it's going to affect. I feel so sorry for the governments, because they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Let the tourists in if COVID spreads, they've done it wrong. If they don't let the tourists in, they're still wrong.
I mean, you can see the devastation effect it's had.
Yes.
Just walking around, not just
terrible.
the nightlife, not just nightlife. You see people sleeping on the streets and begging for food and everything. I mean, it's horrific, isn't it?
It's horrific, but it's not only Thailand, it's worldwide. And that's the only saving grace for Thailand. I honestly believe we're better off here than most countries. And I just hope that things return to normal as quick as possible.
Yeah. Last question for you. Someone's coming to Pattaya for the very first time, never been here before, has no idea what to expect. A man of 30 years experience watching LK Metro evolve and develop, watching Walking Street flourish, watching all the Soi 6 suddenly become one of the most famous sois in the whole of Thailand. What advice would you give that person?
Take it slowly.
Take it slowly.
Yes. Look round, do your shopping. Window shop first, shop later.
Do your shopping. Brilliant. Well, there you go. You've heard it from the man himself. I mean, honestly, I know a lot of people in this city. I really do. But I don't know many people that have been here as long as you, Jack.
It's been an experience that I've thoroughly enjoyed. And with any luck, I'll do another 30.
Fair play to that. Well, there you go.
Still working.
And I hope you've got your insurance policies in place.
I need them.
All right, Jack, it's been a pleasure.
Trevor,
it's been an
great.
absolute pleasure. Listen,
Thank
guys,
you so much.
I want to finish off now, please. If you've got any insurance questions that you want to ask, drop a comment below if it's just a generic insurance question. If it's a personal one, please get in touch via email. We will provide the email in the description below so you can get in touch and ask more personal, more specific questions. All right, guys, that's it from us here today on the Coffee Chat Show. Thank you so much for watching. Guys, please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we bring out a new video. Check out our members area. There's lots going on in there, and also join our Telegram group. It's going from strength to strength, and there's lots of people in there, like-minded people like yourself, guys, that like the Pattaya city. All right, that's it from us, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay safe.